All right, hello, good morning, everyone. Just want to make sure my mic is better this morning, so if I could get a quick mic check, I will really appreciate it. Good morning, guys, on the chat. Just want to get a quick mic check. I know my mic sounded a little funky yesterday. I want to make sure it's better today. All right, excellent, excellent. So good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Pre-Market Show. Good morning, Norm. How are you doing today?
Good morning, Carlos. I'm great. How are you doing this morning?
Doing good, doing good. Let's just get our settings ready to go over here. Excellent, guys. So good morning. Hope everyone's having an amazing morning. Hope you're having also, you had a good day trading yesterday. Hope that you was able to catch some good opportunities, manage your risk, and more importantly, be disciplined, right? That's the most important thing in day trading. All right, so as usual, let's go over our top plays and highlights from yesterday. We'll get into this area here. Let me get my pen. Here we go. So we'll go over this here in this area. Then we'll go over into our gappers and trade ideas, see what's going on over there. Right now, looking a bit light, not much happening, just two tickers on there. And then we'll look at the NASDAQ active, NASDAQ gainer list right over here and right in here and see what we can pull out of that area. And then we'll see what you guys have in the chat room, what you're looking at that maybe we have not spotted in our side, and then we'll come up with a good watch list. Then around 9:15, Andrew will come on and do his watch list for the chat room. So if you have not joined our chat room yet, you're still on the YouTube, definitely check us out. We do have an intro package. You can check out all the programs we have scheduled throughout the day, so you can see what our membership is all about. And also, again, we're very excited about the Traders Challenge. I believe tomorrow we're having an onboarding class. We'll send out a link with that information by today, I believe. So be on the lookout for that. If you already joined the challenge, if you have not joined, definitely check the website for more details and on what we're doing for the second challenge we're running. Starts Friday. The simulation week starts Friday, and then the following week we start the actual challenge. All right, guys, so let's see what we had yesterday. So yesterday's watch list was pretty interesting. I think there was a lot of great moves here. I had X on my watch list in here, and X traded actually pretty good. I didn't trade X. I had it, but X is one of those stocks you got to be careful with because I'm known for it to be very choppy. But actually, yesterday turned out to be a really good short, really good open range breakdown, very clean. Look at this 1 minute chart here. Just again, once it goes below VWAP, just becomes very clean to trade and just continues to test the VWAP, but really never cracks it. And then you can see the moving average here, the 9 and the 20, just writing that down nicely. Now, I did not watch the price action closely, so I don't know how clean this actually was. Because sometimes you get these charts that are clean, but if you're watching it closely, the price action is not clean. Norm, I'm sure you've seen that plenty of times where you look at it after the fact, like, oh yeah, I could have taken a short here. Oh, I could have taken a short here. But when you're actually looking at the actual price action, maybe the spread was bad, whatever the case may be, it might not be an actual good stock to trade. But even looking at the 5, you can see a huge rejection of these price levels here around 19. Pretty good drop down below the VWAP, and then you can see just it never recovers above the VWAP. Holds this moving average nicely here all the way down to this level 1814. Look how we had this level from our pre-market show 1814, and it really comes right to it. As a huge support, and then once it cracks it goes lower. But again, just a very nice clean level there. So that was X, and then ZGNX. This was a good stock, but it was a little tough to trade. This is one I traded actually. Andrew traded this one as well. Again, it was very tough because it had this level at 30. What was it? 39. 39.45 or so. It just couldn't crack that level at all. So on here we got in for the open range breakup. So I got a good entry. I actually got in before the 5-minute mark, so I wanted to get it just looked like it was going to be strong right in this area. But it just couldn't crack this here. It just had a very tough time cracking this 49.39. And eventually it did later on today, but I was not in it for this move here. Eventually it did crack that move there. The next one we had also was CERN. This was one that just, again, took off too far. We talk about when it gets too extended. This was happening with this one. The opening range was way too strong. going up a couple of what, $1.50 plus or more here. Maybe what is this, $2 starting at 63? Yeah, about $2. So this pop was very strong. Then from there, without looking at any of this, right, this looks like a beautiful opening range breakup right in this area, right? You get the pullback. If you got a good entry, you probably will be able to survive this and take out some towards the high of the day. But again, it's just once it got up here, if you got a bad entry, it just didn't give you no room. It really just had a really tough time breaking through this level. And then I believe Brian took this short yesterday somewhere in this area here, and it did drop nicely. So hopefully he was able to hold on through most of this move all the way almost back down towards the low of the day. So again, just became very weak, had this one push here, heads back down right to the low of the day, and even further actually continues to drop, just not stopping at any of these moving averages. So that was a good trade towards the short side. Towards the top, again, if you had a good entry, you could have caught a couple of cents, but overall not really, didn't really want to crack this level here around was that 65.79. AMD was also a great short. Again, it started a little choppy here because in these three candles you don't know what's going on, but then once it loses it on this candle here, the 945 candle below VWAP, it cracks the low of the day and it just continues to dump nicely here. Again, following these moving averages, you can use that as your stop or a possible re-entry or an add, depending on your style. And it does drop nicely here. And this actually traded very well yesterday. So beautiful opening range breakdown. And again, just another reason why we watch AMD and MU, because look at this pre-market action, right? We talk about this a lot. It's just horrible. Not much going on here, pretty dead. You start getting some volume closer to the open. But once in a while you get these beautiful moves from AMD and MU. So this is why we're constantly watching these two tickers. They're very active, and yesterday AMD clearly provided a nice opening range breakdown here. MU was also clean. Actually, Andrew traded MU nicely here too. He got in for the first time, got stopped out. Make sure to check out his recap. Then because this pullback here was kind of strong. I mean, this is not a pullback. This could be a change in direction. It was too high, coming above VWAP and all that. But then it comes back down, loses VWAP, and this is where Andrew got in. He got in again here, and actually Andrew held on to this all the way down here, which is not typical of Andrew to hold something for that long, but he did. He had the patience. He held on to it. He put some limit orders out here, and he took advantage of this big move here. So that was a really nice trade by Andrew. Make sure to check out the video there. And then the last one I had was Facebook. Facebook was really strong. Gave you a beautiful opening range breakup as well. Nice pullback here, and then it took off. 1 minute is also very clean, as you can see here. Just riding all these moving averages, heading towards the top. So again, strong day for Facebook yesterday, and in the open, it showed that clearly very strong here, taking off nicely. All right, guys, so that was our highlights from yesterday. Norm, anything you liked from yesterday?
Apple was a really good move at the open. And it's funny because I took two trades in the morning yesterday, and they were both opening range breakups, and it was against a SPY that was falling pretty hard. So I was kind of going against the current, but the stuff that we were trading was completely independent of SPY and going up pretty strong.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, Apple was good too. I think I had Apple. Maybe I'm not sure why, but I did have Apple on my list yesterday. Now that I'm looking at we were talking about the pre-market action as well. But yeah, beautiful opening range breakup here. Look at the 1 minute is so clean. Comes right back down. Again, if you have a good entry in anywhere in here or here, you can even add when it comes down here after taking some off. So just so many different ways to trade this stock here. But again, very strong here, holding these moving averages and heading towards the top. All right, excellent, guys. Let's go over our gappers list. Not much here right now, only Levi. So let's check what's going on with that one. So Levi's up 7.1. Now, have you traded Levi before? How does it? I never actually traded this stock.
Well, it's only been trading about a week and a half. It IPO'd a week before last, I think. So, I have not yet traded it. We'll see.
Yeah, it's kind of like a lift, right? You just kind of want to wait for it to settle down a little bit. So hard to tell what kind of stock, how this trades. I mean, right now it's up 7.1, 235,000 shares traded. But if we look at the actual pre-market actions, not much going on here. Pretty flat at the moment, not clean at all. You have certain candles here with a lot of volume. This one has about 66,000 shares traded right in here. But again, just not very clean. And then the daily chart, you really can't go by these moving averages just yet because it's just so recent. I mean, you could put some levels clearly up here, 24.19, high of the pre-market 23. So you got some levels here, but not enough to, make a really good decision on how strong that 24.19 really is, right? So
Yep.
so we'll keep it on.
And
here.
I noticed
Yep.
you don't have shares for short, and I've got very few available with IB. So
Yeah. No shares for sure with CME, and if you have very little, we know how that goes. At the open, they'll get snatched up really quick. So again, just one of those. We'll keep it on here, but one of those stocks that we want to be very, very careful taking a trade on it. We see how LIF is trading also. LIF is trading all over the place. Actually, let's take a look at it after DAL. We'll take a look at LIF because I did see some comments in the chat room of people looking at LIF and trading it. So hopefully you did well on that. So here, what do we have on DAL? So DAL, it is 224,000 shares traded right now, up 2.4. Pre-market action looks okay, not great. Again, just not a nice flow just yet. It looks like it's losing some volume within this area here. So it is a little early. You have one candle sitting here with about 55,000 shares in this area. So hopefully it can give us more volume. Now let's look at the daily chart. Daily chart looks interesting though. Up 2.4. It seems like it's bouncing here, been pretty strong, been gapping up. Got some gaps here going higher, so that's good. Looks like it had a little down day here, and then now it's bouncing back again. So I do like the daily chart. That looks good. Let's just see if we can get more volume here in a nice pre-market action. So DAL will definitely keep an eye on. Then let's look at we talked about LIF, right? Let's see how LIF is doing. So another one that I do not have shares for short neither. And again, it just seems like it's been all over the place. Just want to see how I traded yesterday. Yeah, see, this is pure chop, guys. So you got this huge drop here. Well, consolidates, comes right back up to where actually, almost engulfing the first 5-minute candle, then dropping. I mean, this is very, very tough to trade. So be careful. Let's wait for this stock to get into a normal trading rhythm, if it does at all, right? It might not. It might be one of those stocks that just trades horribly, like a IQ or even an SQ. Sometimes is very choppy. You got to be very cautious when you actually trade SQ, right? You got to know what you're doing. But again, here right now, it just doesn't look great. It doesn't look like a good stock to trade. We looked at it closely one day. We had it on our watch list. And again, it just did not trade well neither. So be careful here. And again, very hard to manage your risk because we're looking at going from 69.60. Some of these candles 67.28. So the ATR is really high between the intraday trading candles. So just be very careful with that.
All right. A lot of times it takes a couple of months for new IPOs really to be tradable that are good because they've got, a big chunk of the shares are in lockup periods and nobody can sell or trade them yet.
Right.
And then, to get the levels and everything else. So it's interesting to watch, but probably won't trade it for quite a while.
Yep, absolutely. I just saw a comment here and a little bit off the building the watches, but John Smith using TOS for day trading. So I have used DAS for the last 3 months, made only 2 to 3 green days. So let's see if the platform change improve trading. That would happen. I mean, I came from TOS. Norm, I'm not sure if you had TOS as well, but DAS could improve your trading. So you got to give it time. Though, got to get used to it. But DAS definitely could improve your trading. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I tried Thinkorswim and I had a very difficult time trading at the pace we trade at with it, but
it is. I just got to give it a try because again, I'm a big fan of TOS. I love their platform, love their mobile app. Huge fan. I still have an account with them. But for the style of trading, it depends. It depends on your style, right? If your style is a little bit slower pace and you're able to catch good moves, things like that, great. But I did check the fills. I put them side by side, because I really did not want to leave Thinkorswim. But Andrew's book said, hey, DAS is the way to go. So I was skeptical. So I put them side by side and I did 2 live orders on both platforms. And DAS got filled a lot faster. So I'm like, oh man, this is the way to go with a better price. So I'm like, all right, if this is happening, then this is what I have to do. Gave it a shot, and again, it's a very good platform. But you got to be open-minded to it because coming from Thinkorswim to this, it's like leaving a luxury of leather seats, on a Honda, like a full-packed Honda, and going to a Ferrari that has that's a basic model with no power windows, right? That's what it is. It's faster, but it's not cute. It's not comfortable. So, all right. So let's see what else we got here. Let's look at the NASDAQ active, NASDAQ gainers. AVGR, very active today, 3.7 million shares traded at the moment. But as you can see here, it is, this daily chart actually looks okay. It is a very low price stock, so you want to be careful. Up 27.9. What is the float on this?
I think it's 40 something million.
Yeah, no, actually, I have less. I have 4.8.
You have 4.
Yeah, I have 4.8. Let's confirm that, because if it's 40, could be watchable. It's still risky because of the price. The price is very low, so
DAS
regardless.
says it's 40. DAS says it's 42. TI says it's 4.
Let's check Finviz, see what we have there.
Well, yeah, I'm going there too. 40 million, 41 million, and Finviz. So it's all over the place.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a big difference there. All right, we'll throw it on here. For me, either way, it looks like a 4 million share stock. I mean, it just doesn't look like.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, right. That's weird, because Finviz is pretty good with their numbers. So I'm surprised that they have that. They have it like that. So we'll keep it on here right now. Up 29%, 3.9 million shares traded. So it definitely is in play this morning. Again, just want to be careful. This stock is a little bit trading under $1, so it could trade funky. It does have a good daily chart, even though for being under $1. This is a nice progressive daily chart here. So it's got a nice little range, making higher highs here slowly, a nice flow. So again, it's got a very good daily chart. They must have some news or something. We'll look at that actually right now. Let's see what go over to Benzinga AVGR and see what's going on there. So they got an FDA clearance as of this morning. That's the only news I have right now. So they got an FDA approval. This could be a good catalyst for this stock this morning. Tons of volume, 3.9. So we'll definitely watch how that goes. All right. So next we have ATAI. ATAI has 1 million shares traded. Not the cleanest pre-market action right now. Daily chart looks like it had a huge day yesterday, and today's it's got some volume, but not the best daily chart. So we'll keep it. I'm sorry, not the best pre-market action at the moment. We'll look at it here, up 29.7, 1 million shares. That's quite a bit. IMPX, not much happening there. Has the volume, but the pre-market action is just kind of flat. It just has this one huge pop here and just kind of consolidating. Look at the one at also it's trading under $1, so I want to be careful. I know AVGR is somewhat under $1, but I do love the daily chart though. Daily chart looks good here. It's got some news on it. Do we have any news on ATAI? We'll check that also. Let's just check Benzinga as well. So get Benzinga over here and see what we have on this one. All right, so they got some purchase of a Chinese provider. Okay, so I'm not sure how strong that news is, but they got some news as well, some positive news this morning, 8:35. On the fence on that, we'll keep it on here for now. The pre-market action looks like it's losing it a bit. AVGR definitely looks a little more active and better, so we'll keep an eye on that. IMPX 356,000 shares traded. We'll look at it later. Let's put it on here, see if it develops again. Kind of the same thing here. A lot of movement on these lower price stocks. SFED, not much going on. Only 160,000 shares traded, and right now not really doing much at the moment. So we'll skip that one. IZEA, not much volume. We'll skip that. BoxL, I think we looked at this one before in the past, because it has had some pretty big days in the past here. When it gets the volume, you can clearly see that here. Look at these moves, really big moves here, and when it gets the volume, it definitely has some days where actually it does run up, it sells, and actually have a couple of days here, 1 and 2, selling up nicely. But today it looks like there's no volume, only 40,000 shares traded. So if that gets better, guys, point it out. But right now, not much going on. NVIV, nothing happening. Next, MTFB. MTFB is always on this list, but horrible pre-market action every time I look at it. INMB, not much going on. TNAV, not much happening there. And let's start from the top here. Nasdaq active. So we'll look at AVGR. We have tons of volume, 4 million shares traded now. Again, they got some good news of a FDA approval or clearance, so that's always good. ATAI, it's got the volume, not the best pre-market action. Looks like it's selling off at the moment, so we'll keep an eye on it. PRPO, 916,000 shares traded. Well, it's had a couple of big days. This is a penny stock though. It's trading under 50 cents, so it's not really tradable for the type of style we trade and the strategy that we trade. This is really not something that we can apply our strategies to, right? But it's got a couple of big days here, so you can see based on the daily chart. Next we have AMD. AMD is always with some volume, so I'm going to throw AMD on here. It traded very well yesterday. Sold off nicely, good opening range breakdown. It's got some volume as usual with a horrible pre-market action, but that's normal. HSGX, what we got going on here? Also a penny stock, 19 cents, not much to watch there. QQQ, NASDAQ ETF. Apple is on here. Apple has 431,000 shares traded, quite a bit of a volume here. And again, they've been having just a really nice daily chart. So yeah, let's watch Apple. Let's keep an eye on that one. IMPX we looked at. I don't think this law is taking off now. Any news on IMPX? IMPX. Just gonna check our system here. So it's to acquire a local system in cash and equity transaction. Okay, so they got, maybe they're in the news of buying something. I don't like the daily chart on this one though. This daily chart is very funky. What's the float on this anyway? IMPX, almost 7 million shares float. So again, they definitely got some volume, got some good pre-market action building up now on the 5 and the 1. So we have it down here, up 44%. Again, it's very low price, very low flow, so you want to be extra careful. Let's see if it can create a nice little range here, nice pre-market action that we can actually look at for possible trade. TVIX is a volatility index, and then we have another NASDAQ ETF here. All right, so let's see what you guys have on your end. I see Abio is giving us Snap. Let's take a look at what's going on with Snap here. So Snap stocks fall after eMarketer predicts first annual user declines in the US. All right, so Snap dropping here 2.6. I don't have shares for short on Snap. I usually never do, which sucks. So yeah, they gapped up. Looked like they were going to go for a run here, and now they're back down, gapping down 2.6. 551,000 shares traded so far. Yeah, Snap is definitely in play, especially with some news that the sales are declining. So we'll put Snap on here. I might not personally watch it because I do not have shares to short on it, but this looks like a really good stock to watch today if you have shares for short. It's at a point where it can drop down, lose this level, hit this moving average here if it can get going. But nice little drop here, 2.8 right now, and climbing. So that looks good. Let's look at NVS. NVS down 1.3, 411,000 shares traded. Wow, daily chart looks good. Oh yeah, this is one that dropped yesterday.
Yep.
Yeah, this had a big drop yesterday. We had this on our list for a possible. Not the cleanest pre-market action, but I do love the daily chart. Remember, this is what we had. It didn't have a clean pre-market action yesterday neither, but the daily chart was nice because it had this huge drop, and we're at a critical point where we are. Again, we have some levels down here we can aim for. We got one here. We have one here that the price is sitting at right now. So this looks good here. Yeah, so they're definitely in play. It's on short selling restrictions, but we do have shares for short. Not the greatest pre-market action. This is a horrible pre-market action. Looking at this, this candle.
The reason they're down is they spun off their contact lens company, and so it probably won't. I'm doubt it'll be much in play later today.
Oh, gotcha.
Might keep an eye on it. So that's why it. Yeah, that's why it's.
That's what's causing the drop. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and in the pre-market action, I really do not like the pre-market action here. So again, just not very clean. Huya, let's see what Huya. I never traded Huya. Huya down 1.4, 684,000 shares traded right now. So that's some good volume. A little bit of a funky daily chart. Reminds me of MU. MU has a funky daily chart too. But I do like the fact that it's dropping here back to where we have some clear support right in this area. So if it starts losing it, we have another clean level right in here, another one right over here. So this is in a good situation. Look at the moving averages are all above the price right now, so it's clearly very weak. Yeah, this could be a good one to watch today. So pre-market action is creating a nice flow. So for those joining us that are new, this is what a good pre-market action kind of looks like, right? You want to have these candles build up. You want to have some bodies in these candles, opposed to like a NVS. I mean, here this is not a good pre-market action. Look at all the flat candles and gaps in here. And we're gonna have class 2 next week. So class 2, we really get into this. So make sure you tune in for class 2 next week as well. Check the schedule on the website for full classes next week. So Huya is good. We'll watch Huya. Let's see what else we have. NVEV. Let's take a look at that. NVEV down 1%, 241. Not the best pre-market action on this one. Had a big day 2 days ago, right? Huge day, and then now it's kind of flat, really. Yeah, I don't really like the pre-market action on this one right now. So, well, definitely probably not gonna watch that one. Let's get some space in here. All right. What else we have? So DAL, yes, DAL we do have. Let's look at JetBlue. JBL. All right, so not much happening right now with this one. It is up 3.4, so that's quite a bit, but not much volume at the moment. So really not much volume going on with JetBlue. We'll keep it on here for now. I mean, what's the news with the airliners? Is there something going on that's making...
Delta released earnings this morning. I think JetBlue's expanding their service to Europe. I can't remember what other, and they also released their either first quarter or March flight info, like their seat capacity and all that.
Gotcha. Okay, so what we could do is we could watch this for the mid-morning, because JetBlue right now really doesn't have the volume, but DAL, Delta does look a lot better volume-wise and pre-market action-wise, but JetBlue is really not there. So I'll wait for JetBlue to hit our scanners. If they have some news that can make them, continue to get this run going towards the top. All right, guys, what else you guys have on your end? What else? JD, let's look at JD. JD is pretty flat right now. Not much volume on JD. This is one that I'll probably want to wait for it to hit the scanners. JD could trade very well even after having a bad pre-market action. Wow, look at yesterday. We got it traded yesterday, pretty choppy. I mean, this is almost impossible to catch a move like this when you have a start of a stock that looks like this. By the time it hits the scanners and on turbo breakup, you probably already missed the move. I mean, you have to be watching this and preparing for a strategy. But what kind of strategy can you prepare for when you see this here, right? It's just not really clean. There's not much volume neither. So again, these moves are not happening nice and quick and clean. So again, very, very hard to catch a move like that. All right, so let's see what else we have.
I've got UAA as well. It needs volume, but I think they might have had news out. It's the pre-market's terrible right now, but I've got it to watch later.
Okay, all right, yeah, I'm gonna actually put down here a few of the ones we just mentioned now, right? So we have UAA, and then we have JetBlue, right? Also, it's got some news out. So those two don't have a good pre-market action, but we'll keep those on here, just see what's going on with those later on. All right, guys, let's make this list a little smaller. We got quite a bit here. Not all looks great, so we'll definitely see which ones we want to keep for the open, which ones we're going to watch later on in the day. Someone mentioned BA, so what's going on with BA? Let's get rid of these levels. So again, not much volume right now in BA. Only 27,000 shares traded, opening up pretty flat. So not much activity. But this is a one that, again, if you've been watching it, the price action is not as clean, and it can go into this choppiness for a couple of days, right? We had several days where it kind of broke out here. Then we had a gap down day. Again, so it's just some more news. As news comes out, this has been moving, but everybody's just kind of waiting on BA. It looks like it's just waiting to see what's the next thing that's gonna come out here. But again, I find it very difficult to trade this stock. I seen Andrew trade it as well. It's just very difficult. The price action is not clean. I don't know if it's because of higher price stock or what the case is, but it's not clean. It's like an Nvidia or an Apple. It's nowhere near that. So I prefer to stay away from it. All right, so let's get to this list. So let's start here with Levi. Again, up almost 7%. Volume is 262,000 shares. Not the cleanest pre-market action, but I do like the daily chart. We do got some clean levels here. The problem with this one's going to be that, again, it's a recent IPO, so you really want to be careful with this one. So again, we got some levels already. If you're going to watch this, we have 24.19, 23, and we have 23.76. We have 22.77. But again, with this being a recent IPO, these levels, you got to take them with a grain of salt. You don't know how strong these are actually going to be. It reminds me of a lift. Just don't know what you can expect out of it. So it's nice that it's gapping up almost 7%. Pre-market action looks all right, not great. but might not be one that I'm going to keep on my list. One, I don't have shares for short, and I think Norm mentioned very little with IB either. And again, this just could be not a good one to watch today. DAL on the other hand is up 2.7. They got some news out, so this is good. Not the cleanest pre-market action right now, but hopefully that gets better throughout the morning. 58.82 high of the pre-market, 58.80. So mark that down with a clear level all the way up here at 61.35. Let's get something else close to the price action. So I'm just gonna go back, zoom into this area here, and here we have a possible right in here. This spike at 60.21. So clean levels up there towards the bottom. I think we have more than enough. You have the previous day highs and lows all in this area here, finalizing with the previous day close, this dotted black line here. And then below that, in case we drop, we have a very clean level here, 55.82. Also have this moving average almost coming in around this same area as well. So that's what I have for Delta DAL. Again, right now, pre-market action looks okay. Not great, but looks okay. Hopefully, it can get into a nice flow. They got some news out, so up 2.8 with the news they got going. So, Lyft, I just put this one just to look at it. It's not in play today, so I'm gonna remove it. AMD, I do like the daily chart. Let's get rid of these levels here. So daily chart looks good. Towards the top, you have the high of the pre-market sitting at 27.79. So we'll mark that. Towards the bottom, you have the low of the pre-market is very close to where the previous day closes. I mean, we could mark it, but they're really right there. 27.32 low of the pre-market. Then you have the previous day low, previous day close, right in the same, almost the same level. And then below this, if we lose the previous day close, next possible level we have is 26.98, and that's because of these 2 days bouncing off for that right in here. So, and also you got a nice moving average coming in here, 26.55. So we'll mark that as well. Good moving average there in case we decide to have a big drop like we did yesterday. I don't think we'll have such a big drop, but you never know. Some very clean levels to play off on AMD. And just for, again, this horrible pre-market action, but we already know how AMD can give us a really good clean open. Apple, again, also not the best pre-market action right now, but it does have some good volume on Apple. Has a beautiful daily chart as well. Let's remove some of these levels and get some fresh ones. Towards the top, previous day close, previous day low from yesterday, previous day high from 2 days ago, and then previous day high from yesterday, all in this area here. Here's a big gap in here, so maybe you want to find a level that's clean, that's in that area in case it wants to break higher. So I'm just gonna go back in here and zoom into this area right in here, see if we could find something in between here that's clean, and I really do not see anything clean. Actually, this day here, you have 201.91. You have the bottom of this day. That could be a possible area. So that's the cleanest level between that area. Then towards the bottom, you have low from 2 days ago, very clean, around 196. Also got the moving average also coming in here as well. You can also mark the low of the pre-market, 197.18. So mark that down as well. Then below this 196, this moving average, if we were to continue to drop here, the next best level I can find is probably going to be this one here, 194. I don't think we'll even get close to that. I think Apple's been pretty strong. It's having some normal pullbacks, but I think it's been really strong the last couple of days. So we'll see how Apple trades today. So Snap is looking good for sure. If you have shares for sure, Snap is looking great. Low of the pre-market right now sitting at 11.95, so we'll mark that. Let's see if it can hold that. As you can see in the 1 minute chart, it's been testing it 1, 2, 3. So tested it several times here. And then what else we have? If it loses that, another clean level in this area here, 11.68. And then down here, 11.46. Also got a moving average right at 11.68, a nice moving average coming in as well that can give this level a little more support as well. All right, so Snap looks good for sure. Looks very weak, but again, guys, no, definitely don't be biased. I mean, let's look at what happened yesterday. What was the stock? ZGNX. Just as an example, right? This stock here, this is the one I traded. This one dropped, was down. I forgot the percentage, but it's quite a bit. And if you look at the action yesterday, after this huge drop at the open, all you get is a bounce, right? So it had this huge drop, and then when it opens up, it takes off, and it actually makes a pretty nice green candle for the day. So You don't want to be short biased. It was a stock that was down. I forget the percentage, but it was quite a bit. It was like 20 or something. It was 20% or so, whatever it was. Down quite a bit. It looks like it was very weak. And then at the open, it just took off. All right, it just took off, and it never really looked back. Actually, even before the open, it just started bouncing back from this 34.71. Look at the pre-market action at the open. It just squeezed whoever was sitting short there. So no short bias when trading these stock, guys. Be very careful. Watch the price action. Wait for a setup before you get into anything. So Snap is good. Where we left off, NVS. NVS got the volume again, but the pre-market action doesn't look great. I like the daily chart. I like that it's dropping here, but just the pre-market action is not great. It is on short selling restrictions. We do have shares for short. I'm gonna erase these levels here. Let's find some levels just in case we can get a move out of it, but I'm probably not gonna keep it on my watch list. Norm, I'm not sure if you're gonna keep this one.
No.
Yeah, right. I just don't see that anything great out of it right now. So we have the low of the pre-market, 82.11, and then we also have this one over here at 81.68, and then below that we have 81.27. So a couple of levels there in case something interesting happens around the mid-morning. I'm trying to see if towards the top, what levels do we have towards the top? We can have this one in here, 82.40. So a few levels in here for now on NVS, nothing major, but again, just not a big fan of it. So I'm going to remove it from my list. But we have some levels in case it comes in our scanners. Turbo breakup, turbo breakdown. We can definitely watch this one. Next we have, wait, did I delete the right one? I hope I did. Huya. So let's see what's going on with Huya here. So Huya is a Mustafa, Roku. Yeah, we'll look at Roku next. That's fine. After we're done with these levels, we'll look at Roku, see what we got going on there. So Huya right now, again, it's got some volume, not the best daily chart, but it is at a point where it looks like it wants to lose it. Look at the support level we talked about earlier, very strong over the last couple of weeks. We're back at it, or a little slightly lower under it. So that's good. Let's mark this one here. The next level will be 22.78, and then below to that will be 21.90. So you got some very good clean levels towards the bottom here. Pre-market action, not as clean, but it does have a nice downtrend here. Again, it's got some volume, but just not a nice flow. I like when it comes down with a nice flow, right? This one doesn't have the range. Like, it has the volume, but not the activity. Pre-market action activity is just not looking great. But again, it does have potential on the daily chart. So we'll keep it on here for now. But this might be one, depending on how many I have left, that I might remove. Actually, Levi's one I'm going to remove. So I'm just going to take off Levi off here. Huya might be another one that I take off from the list. NVEV, yeah, not in play, guys. NVEV, very flat, not a great pre-market action. It does have some volume. Had a big day a couple of 2 days ago, but today's not really in play. So I'm just going to remove this one. And normally this stock does not trade well. Look at the daily chart. Look how choppy this is. This is normal trading for NVEV. They had some news out that Walmart, they were doing a deal with Walmart on their beverage. That's why you had this huge pop here. But again, it looks like after the news, it's like, okay, well, let's wait for the sales. It's coming right back down to the normal trading ranges. So I think the fun might be over on that one. So we'll delete that one. JD, again, we were just looking at it, pretty flat right now, no volume. So we'll remove this one. UAA, we're actually going to watch in our mid-morning list right down here, along with JetBlue. Let's look at some of these low floats that we had on our list. So AVGR, selling off. I don't like AVGR, to be honest, guys. It's kind of trading under $1. It has a good daily chart, right? Over the last couple of weeks, has been trending nicely. But I just really do not like the price action, and anything under $1, you just want to be careful with. So I'm just going to remove it off my list. ATAI, same with ATAI. I'm just not a fan of these stocks that are so low priced. So I'm not even sure what to do on this one here. Let's get some levels just in case we get a fallen angel. Let's look at the high of the pre-market, 340. We got the low right next to the high of yesterday, so I'm not going to mark that down right there around 250. Let's get some levels. Let's go back over here. Yeah, so you even have good levels on the daily chart too. The daily chart is just not great. Yeah, I think then you have the gap up here, which we can mark down at 405. But again, guys, not a fan of this one neither. So again, I'm just gonna get rid of this one too. I think INPX looks like the one that has the cleanest pre-market actions, looking nice here. It's got some good volume as well. but I am not a fan of ATAI. So I'm just gonna remove this one. I'll watch INPX. Let's get some levels in here. This seems to me like the best one out of all of them. It's got some volume. 127. 127 is a volume here. I'm sorry, a level. You got another one here at 163. And then another one here at 211 is the high of this day here, and then also consolidating along these days here as well. So so this look, and then towards the bottom, just in case for a fallen angel, let's mark down this area here. It seems like it was some support for several days. It's bouncing off this level here in this area. All right, guys, so that's what we have so far.
Carlos, have you looked at Tesla yet by chance?
No, I have not. Tesla's looking good.
Yeah, well, it's just made a massive move in the last 10 minutes or so.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
And a couple of people in the room were calling out that it's on a bill introduced in the Senate, I believe, to increase electric car tax credits. So.
Oh, nice. Okay, yeah, that could definitely move this. I see it here showing up in our Gapper scanner as well. So it's up 2.1, 335,000 shares traded right now. So it's definitely getting some action. I guess this news just broke out, right?
I guess so. I couldn't find anything specific on it.
Okay.
So yeah, it must be rather new.
All right, so we got some levels right on here. High of 2 days ago sitting right there could be the possible next level. I'm going to mark down the high of the pre-market now, although that could change really fast. The way this is trading right now, 279.75. Then above that, you have another bottom of this day here. Not the cleanest level, but 283.891 could be also possible. You have this day here, and also you have this one day here as well. And then this 295.75 is far out. So you want something in the middle. I'm gonna pick this one, 289.46. You have these 2 days here bouncing off of it, and also these 2 days using it as resistance. So I think that's the best area to put that level in. And also you have a moving average coming in almost right above it, right above that 289.46. And remember, guys, these levels are an area, especially even more so on a higher price stock, right? So if you get to this could be 290, this could be, you know, 289 flat, right? It's an area. Don't be stuck on hitting that number exactly. All right, so yes, Tesla looks good. Let's put Tesla on here. Tesla is very active right now. And then someone mentioned a fix a few ago. So FIXX is coming up in our Gapper scanners. Down 7%, not that much volume yet. By now you want to see a lot more volume. It's 9:12 Eastern time, so we got a few more minutes before Andrew comes on. But again, I would expect to see more volume and not a good pre-market action, given that it does not have that much volume, only 165,000 shares traded. So let's put some levels on here in case this wants to surprise us in the open and give us some action. The turbo breakdown, turbo breakup. Low of the pre-market sitting at 2110. Below that we have 1870. That's a level 1870 off this day here. And then you also have a couple of days bouncing off this 2023 here. You have this day here and these days here also bouncing that, and these days consolidating in this area as well. And then towards the top, quickly we can see that this one here is a possible level. You got this day coming up and bouncing off of that. You got this day almost testing that 2255, but not quite. Then above that, you have the previous day close right next to the high of the pre-market. But this will be, I'm going to put this down as a possible here. I think it has some potential, but it really needs some volume. The pre-market action right now does not look great at all. We do have shares for short, but it is on short selling restriction, unfortunately. And it just had a big red day yesterday already, so I'm not sure how much down this can go here. But we got some clean levels towards the bottom. All right, guys, anything else that we might have missed? We got a minute or two just to go over. Disney. Let's look at Disney really quick. Whoops, what we got here? There we go. Disney looks pretty choppy right now. Has some volume, but again, daily chart looks amazing. Has been on a tear here the last couple of days, but right now the pre-market action doesn't look great. SRNE on the move again. All right, SRNE looks interesting. 261,000 shares traded. Pre-market action starting to look interesting. We have some levels. You should have some levels already from the last time we looked at this over here, right? We were looking at it when it had these moves. So you have 557, you have 622, and 685, right? Actually, we could move this down now here to this here because it created some better levels for us. This one we can get rid of, and then actually, you know what? Let's get rid of all of them. We got some better levels now that we have this move. So 649, 576, and then also right in here 484. And I like 484 because you got this day somewhat bouncing from it, and also these days banging their heads on it, trying to crack that, and they couldn't. And then towards the bottom, you got the previous day lows and highs sitting right in this area, so that gives it a good support in there. So high right now, the pre-market 472. This could be a possible one today. I'm going to throw it down here next to IMPX, CSRNE. So we'll throw it down here again, up 13.4, 280,000 shares traded. And we know when it gets the volume, as you can see here, it can definitely run, right? We had a couple of days here where it ran nicely. All right, guys, I think that's enough for today. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have 6. I have one too many. So I'm going to get rid of Snap, guys, just because I don't have shares for short. But Snap, it looks like it wants to break down here. It's now breaking the low of the pre-market. So if you have shares for short, this is a good one to watch. I'm going to get rid of this one. DAL looks, again, looks good on the daily, but not on the pre-market. Pre-market action does not look great at all right now. Well, the 5 looks a little better. AMD, I like AMD. It's got some volume, as always. Apple, it's got some volume. Huya, I'm not sure on Huya. I'm going to make a decision. I'm going to see what Andrew and Brian and Norm are watching. If they have something better, I'll remove Huya. I'm not a fan of it at the moment. It doesn't have a clean daily chart, really. Tesla's continuing to make new highs here. Let's see if it can break that high of the pre-market, 279.77. INXP, still making newer highs here, breaking the high of the day. New high of the day now sitting at 135. SRNE is doing a pullback. And then down here we have our possible for the day, UAA, JetBlue, and FIX. I'm going to wait for these to hit our scanners and give us possibly some activity. All right, guys, that is all I have for today. Norm, anything else you like on your end that, well, we haven't looked at? We know you're going to look at NVIDIA for sure. Let's see what NVIDIA is.
NVIDIA's pretty flat this morning. Apple, Facebook, I'll have on there. And then possibly Baidu, BIDU, and FSLR. There's not really any volume in those yet, at least FSLR, but we'll see what happens with them.
Yeah, NVIDIA, I see NVIDIA is really flat. Yeah, I have Apple. Apple looks a lot more interesting. I like the daily chart as well. Massa NVIDIA sucks these days. No, NVIDIA has been pretty good. NVIDIA has been trading really good. Maybe yesterday didn't have a good day, but it has been having some really, in this area here, has some really good trading days. And again, it's easy to look back and say, hey, you know, now it looks great. But no, I've seen the way Norm and others have been trading it. I mean, they've been getting some really good opening range breakups on these things over here. We'll look at one more, CERN. So CERN had a big day yesterday, sold off, again, gapped up and then just sold off. But today is really not in play, guys, unless something else comes, you know, some volume comes in. Only 5,000 shares traded. So really not in play this morning. It was definitely in play yesterday. BRSS, no volume. This looks like a buyout, actually. If you look at the pre-market action, this looks like a buyout, but it's not enough volume to be a buyout. I think usually the buyouts are pretty high on volume, right? This one doesn't look interesting at all. Pretty flat, around 43.21. Actually, looks exactly like a buyout. I'm gonna put this on here because I'm interested to see how to look at it later to see how this trades. Not because I'm gonna watch it to trade this morning. Just want to see how it trades at the open. All right, guys, we're coming up on 9:20. Thank you so much for joining the pre-market show. If you have not yet checked out our Bear Bull Traders Challenge, make sure you do. Again, we have it starts in 5 days, right? 5 days we start the simulation. So no, actually we start the simulation tomorrow, correct?
Correct.
Yeah, start the simulation tomorrow. The actual challenge starts in 5 days, and you have until I believe the day before or that day that we start the challenge at noon to sign up. So looking forward to it. Again, we're thinking of new ways to be able to come up with ideas to to reward people that are consistent, people that are, you know, making good trades throughout every single day and not just the one hit wonder. So definitely join. Very fun competition, a good way to check out the platform and see how you can perform and how do you like dance in our community. Good morning, Andrew is on. Andrew, we have YouTube on. You want to send these guys a nice message, say hello?
Good morning, everyone. No, just feel free to join us for the challenge, guys. And you know, we are working on defining a new, not the prize, but new criteria for the challenge. So, you know, we want to remove the element of luck from this as much as possible. So we announce it by tomorrow or Monday that who would be the first prize. It's actually not the highest PNL because, you know, as we discussed, you know, the highest PNL might be a lot of luck on that. It doesn't really reflect the consistency. Not necessarily, it can be, but, you know, we try to add the element of, you know, consistency into that. So make sure that the winner is, you know, one of the most consistent traders, not one person who actually got lucky. But yeah, stay tuned. We'll announce that soon. Yeah, so we're looking forward to have all of you in the challenge. It's going to be fun.
Excellent, guys. Take care on YouTube, guys. See you guys tomorrow at 8:30 Eastern time. Have a great trading day and trade safe.
Thanks for joining us, guys. Take care. Trade safe.
All right. Carlos and Norm.